released the trailer for its penultimate season, and I have watched it more times than I want to admit because every single frame of it feels like it is preparing us for something we have known was coming since the very first episode of this show and still are not ready for. This is it. Season 6. The hour has come. And before the sun sets in this story, Jesus of Nazareth will be dead. Let's talk about everything this trailer showed us. What season 6 is actually going to cover. The exact words Mary says as she touches her son's beaten face. What Jesus himself whispers while he is in chains. And when, exactly when, we will get to watch this for ourselves. Because this trailer does not waste a single second, and I want to walk through every moment of it with you. The official synopsis says it plainly, and I do not think plainly is the right word, because there is nothing plain about it. Season 6 captures the historic events of Jesus' final day through the lives of those who love him and those who condemn him. Pharisees will call it justice. Romans will call it peace. Followers will call it murder. And in the face of loneliness and death, Jesus will stand resolute in a plan that has always led to one place, the cross. The trailer opens on a moment I genuinely was not braced for. Mary, gently touching her son's severely beaten face. Jesus wearing the crown of thorns already, and Mary weeping as she says 4 words that I do not think I will stop hearing for a long time. My boy. My heart. I honestly had to pause the trailer right there, because this show has spent 5 seasons letting us fall in love with these people as human beings first, before anything else. And watching a mother look at what has been done to her son and reduce her entire grief down to 4 syllables is the kind of thing this show has always known how to do better than almost anything else on television. From there, the trailer moves through the machinery of what is coming. A Roman soldier cutting branches to craft the crown of thorns with his own hands methodically, like it is simply a task assigned to him for the day. Another soldier picking up a whip, and the camera lingers just long enough for you to see the metal and bone barbs woven into the leather thongs. The scourging at the pillar, the arrest, the trials, the long walk to Calvary, and Jesus' final words on the cross, which this trailer holds back from us completely, saving every syllable of that moment for the season itself, rather than the preview. And there are 2 lines of dialogue in this trailer that I think are doing more work than anything else in it. A voiceover, determined and ominous at the same time, says simply, "This is the way." And later, Jesus himself, in chains, whispers 2 words that I think summarize this entire show's 7-season argument about who this man was and what he believed he was here to do. Your will. I have watched Jesus of Nazareth resist fate in 100 other pieces of media. I have never watched him accept it with 2 words this quiet. And I honestly think that restraint is the whole point. Now, let's talk about the actual structure of this season, because it is unlike anything The Chosen has done before. Season 6 will consist of 6 episodes total. The first 3 will premiere together on November 15 on Prime Video. After that, new episodes will release weekly through December 6. And then, in a decision that tells you exactly how seriously this production is treating the crucifixion itself, the season finale will not stream at all initially. It will be released as a standalone theatrical event in cinemas on March 12, 2027. This show has done theatrical releases before for major chapters of the story, but choosing to send the actual crucifixion and everything that follows it exclusively into theaters first, months after the streaming episodes conclude, tells me the creative team believes this specific chapter deserves to be experienced the way you would experience it in a church on Good Friday itself. communally, in a dark room. With no pause button, core Dallas Jenkins revealed the trailer himself during a live stream on Sunday, July 26th, the night before its official release. And he said something simple that I think explains everything about why this trailer took as long as it did to arrive. We put a lot of time and effort into this because this is important, not because it needed to perform well, because it is important. And I think anyone who has followed this production since season 1 understands exactly what he means by that. Jonathan Roumie, who has played Jesus across all 5 previous seasons, has also spoken about what it meant to actually portray this specific stretch of the story, the passion and the crucifixion itself. And in a smaller, more personal note tied to the same rollout, he mentioned a song called All I Need Is You, describing it as something outside his normal country music lane. He said, "It's a song that hits close to home. I think a lot of people can relate to the need for Jesus. To write a song about something that really matters is extra special." I think that quote tells you something about the man playing this role. This is not a performer clocking in and out of a costume. This is someone who has spent years living inside this story and clearly still finds new ways for it to move him. And before season 6 even arrives, Prime Video is giving us something completely different from this cast first. On August 9, The Chosen in the Wild with Bear Grylls premieres, following the cast, and Dallas Jenkins himself as Bear Grylls leads them through genuinely rugged terrain across the United States. Utah's Castle Valley and Canyonlands, the Ozable River, the Colorado River, the Great Basin Desert, and the Adirondacks. It is a strange and honestly kind of wonderful bit of counter-programming to release right before the heaviest season this show has ever produced. A little bit of levity and adventure with this cast before we walk with them through the hardest day of the story they have been telling for 6 years. It's also worth knowing just how long this particular season has been in the making. Season 5 wrapped back in 2025, which means this is the longest gap between seasons the show has ever had, and I think that gap tells you something on its own about how carefully this specific chapter was handled. Production returned to its longtime home base in Goshen, Utah County, the same rolling hills that have quietly stood in for first century Israel since the very first episode of this entire series, and there is something fitting about the crucifixion itself being filmed in the exact same landscape where this whole journey began. The Chosen Season 6 premieres with 3 episodes November 15 on Prime Video, followed by weekly episodes through December 6, with the season finale arriving as a standalone theatrical release March 12th, 2027. Drop a comment and tell me, what did Mary's 4 words do to you the first time you watched this trailer? And how do you think this show is going to handle showing us the crucifixion itself after 5 seasons of building toward this exact moment? Because I honestly do not think any of us are as ready for November as we think we are.